Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. And for his weekly check-in before every ARCA race, we are joined by Nick Sanchez, the driver of the number 2 Chevrolet for Rev Racing in the ARCA Menard series. How's it going?
It's going good.
Okay, so before we talk about Kansas, we need to talk about Talladega because you had quite the adventure at Talladega. Kind of talk about that.
It was a crazy day. I knew we were gonna have to put ourselves in contention early. We drove from 22nd to 3rd in about 8 laps, so that was surprising because that's not really how I planned for it to happen. But we were on offense all day. We were definitely the aggressor. I think I played it safe in a lot of situations that could have been bad. I feel like we kind of toned it back and just kind of held myself back and just waited till the last lap to make a pass for the lead, and it ended up sticking and just got outrun by 2 teammates there to the line. Really, that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay, so there were a couple things that how do you think you did on driving on these super speedways?
Can you repeat that again? I didn't really hear you.
Okay, so how do you think you did driving on these super speedways?
I feel like you have to take super speedways with a grain of salt because there's not much to it. I hate to say it. There's a lot to it, but at the same time, you just hold it wide open. I just feel like you have to be aggressive and you have to really feel the drafts and know what your car likes. If it likes getting the tug from 5 car lengths back opposed to, maybe it sucks up within a car length. So it's just playing with your distances and timing. That's all it is. And just understanding how the air works around the car. Cause once you're able to do that, I feel like I got a lot better with that Talladega side drafting and just, timing runs. And that's all it is to it. So I don't really want to grade myself, but I will say, we finished at a super speedway. That's all you could ask for.
Okay, so during the broadcast, there was a clip of, I think it was, the broadcast said it was your spotter, Tyler Green, but it was actually Mark Green, his son, of course, your driver coach, talking about what happened with, I think the wreck with Greg Van Elst. What was Mark like after the race and talking about that?
No, I mean, I understand his reasoning for it, heat of the moment stuff. But, we reasoned after the race, and I've had a lot of people say, it's speedway racing, yeah, of course, when you turn someone, it's going to be a big deal. And, some people are going to be unhappy, but mostly everyone that I talked to has been very supportive about it. You see it in the cup race when you have to get aggressive, and you have to push. From a driver standpoint, I felt like, I did give him a push, but at the same time, he also moved up a quarter of a lane, and which obviously made me get to his left rear. I mean, look, it's racing, it's super speedway racing. You got to be aggressive, especially, 13, 14 laps to go, especially on the outside and not so big pack. You just got to make moves, smart moves. But if you want to be there at the end, you have to be aggressive. And I felt like I had to do what I had to do, and I'd go back and do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So another thing, but before we get into this weekend at Kansas, it was exciting out there. It was a really good race, compared to last year. What was in you? What made you guys go out and because the thing is, we're used to seeing, everyone's, 5, 6 cars are going to break away and, separate from the pack. And we didn't see that. We saw 1, 2, maybe even sometimes 3 lanes out there. What was it like, just drafting out there? What you really kind of caused that?
Everyone is just really aggressive. Cautiously aggressive, I would say. Everyone I think collectively made pretty smart decisions throughout the race, and it was just hard racing. It was just kind of leapfrog. Obviously, I never really planned on leading up until when I led, just because I felt like that's not what we had to do. Leading a lap here and there wasn't gonna make or break our day. But everyone is just really they're really smart. I think we all played the race pretty smart. And when some people had to catch the pack, they made sure they caught him. You see most races, they the second pack can't catch the first one because they're just trying to pass each other. And that's, you got to work these races, especially in the ARCA field, when you don't have 40 cars, you have, I think we had 29, you have to 10 less cars. I mean, you have to stay together you have to work together to stay together pretty much.
Right. Okay, so all right, Talladega's in the rearview mirror. We're going to Kansas this weekend. First of 2 times that the ARCA Menard Series is going to Kansas Speedway. Your first mile and a half. How excited are you about that?
I'm really excited. Mile and a halves are always something that I think I found interesting because it's just a different style than anything I've ever done in my career. But I'm really excited, studying a lot of film, asking a lot of questions, and I feel like I have a really good feeling about this weekend. I've never driven this car before, which is another good thing. I'm always in for new experiences and seeing how this one reacts. But I feel like it will be a good weekend, and I always want to put the pressure on the front runners.
Finally, what's it take to get around a track like Kansas?
I couldn't really tell you because I've never done it. So I'll tell you. I'll be able to tell you at the end of practice. But from what I've seen, momentum. That's all it is, and just staying in the right line. I feel like something I really put a lot of pressure on myself studying these tracks I'm going to, and I've done more studying than I ever have on a track or a certain style of racing. So I'm definitely going to show up prepared and ready to be on offense and tackle it.
All right. Nick Sanchez, thank you for spending a few minutes with us, and good luck this weekend at Kansas.
Thank you.